Hello and welcome back. This is my conclusion on the judgment by Ms. Sharp in the case against Melanie Bing and Andy Lewis of the Quackometer. If you haven't watched the last two parts, I suggest you do so before watching this one. So what have we learned from all these lies and misrepresentations which Sharp so casually doubled down on? Well, we've learned that the British judiciary is totally comfortable with the following. Facts can be misrepresented and tampered with, including in judgments. Chronology can be changed. Lying in court documents and perjury in court are both acceptable. Breaching court orders is acceptable. Disability abuse and mental health smears are acceptable. Using the credentials of a doctor to spread a made-up clinical judgment is acceptable. Judges breaking their promise is acceptable. Ignoring precedent is acceptable. Altering the natural and ordinary meaning of common words is acceptable. Breaching human rights is acceptable. Quoting lies in a judgment without informing readers those are lies is acceptable. Judges showing clear bias is acceptable. Judges accused of bias can acceptably be the sole person to determine that bias. Barristers are allowed to deceive and act fraudulently. Stalking is acceptable and will be rewarded. Harassment is acceptable and will be rewarded. That's quite a list. Now you have to wonder, why would the judiciary go to so much trouble to defend such clear and obvious misrepresentations? Why isn't the judiciary interested in the truth? Well, we knew the truth was of no importance for some time. Contrary to grand public statements in the media by the judiciary like, if a judge errs in law or on the facts, the remedy is to appeal. When Floyd denied our original appeal, his reason was that our application was an attempt to re-argue the case on the facts. We can only conclude that facts just don't matter in a British court of law. As far as the judiciary is concerned, fact is a four-letter word, and the judge is clearly free to alter the truth to fit the narrative of their liking. And we now have yet another judge, more than happy to lie and protect a clear and obvious injustice and bury facts under a pile of supposed authority. Well, I can't be angry with Sharp because it takes a very strong person to go against the lies spread by one's peers. After all, she doesn't know me or my family and will likely never meet us face to face. But those other judges, she must bump into them every day. She may even be friends with some or all of them. How strong do you have to be to look them in the eye and tell them they've lied in their judgment, they condoned all of the above, and they are guilty of a clear misconduct in public office? This would undoubtedly jeopardize those friendships and connections and potentially risk shunning and ostracization. This is not something most will be brave enough to face, so it's safer to stick with the lying narrative. There are scientific studies that show the acute psychological trauma caused by shunning, and this is why it's such a good method to keep people in line. The greater the number of judges who repeat the same lie, the harder it will be to find a judge with the guts to actually do the job that people think they're supposed to be doing. But the facts don't care how many lie about them. Facts are facts. The lies spread by these judges doesn't change what Melanie Bing, Andy Lewis and their many supporters have actually done to my family and who knows to how many others. Sticking to the truth is only totally without merit when it is important to deny that truth for whatever reason. Take flat earthers, for instance. I can easily find a dozen of them online who will present you with evidence that claiming the earth is a globe is a giant conspiracy. Does that mean that the earth is actually flat? Of course it doesn't. The facts are clear and their arguments are ludicrous, as are those judgments in our case. Those judges' deceitful opinion based on lies and misrepresentations should be ignored and laughed at, just like we do of flat earthers. Only the consequences of the judge's deception are far more serious, not just for my family, but potentially for anyone suffering the same kind of stalking and harassment we've endured, since now there's a great precedent to protect this crime. Them insisting that lies are truths, and that mental health smears, disability abuse, stalking and harassment are to be protected, force us to the only possible conclusion. This corrupt system is not fit for purpose. No one who is willing to use their influence to lie to protect others can be said to be part of any kind of justice. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.